Hi there, my name is Trisha Shalo with Just for the Love of Stamping, and today I'm sharing with you a fun project as part of Sunday Fun Days Christmas in July. This is a focus on decorations, and for this project I'm going to share with you a little decoration that I'm making for my tree, and it may inspire you to make projects for your own. It's going to be a surprise, but it is going to feature the Tidings and Trimming stamp set, and I wanted to share with you that I was going to do this with a 112 by 12 piece of paper and then some of the collection, the paper collection of Tidings at Christmas. Actually, it's called Tidings of Christmas, and here's the sampler here for you to see. So, take a look at what I am about to create. So using my paper trimmer, the 12 by 12 paper trimmer, I am just going to tuck this in, and I'm going to trim down this 12 by 12 piece of paper down to 3 inches. And then again across, sorry, and I should have trimmed this first to 5.5. So I'm going to trim this to 5.5 and then by 3 inches long. So I've got 2 already done. I'm just going to trim this down now to 5.5 because I forgot to do that earlier. I'm going to trim this one down to 5.5. And then what I am doing is just trimming these each down to 3 inches. And so it kind of looks like a tag. And in fact, that is basically what it is we are making, is a holiday tag. And I'll share with you as I go through making this. So I'm just going to do one. So although I'm only doing one, this is how many you'll get out of a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. So you'll be able to make, how many do we have here? 2, 4, 6, 8 tags. So you're going to be able to make 8 tags out of the 12 by 12 paper. And so I'm going to start with one of the pieces, and you're just going to grab your scissors. And this is how I make my tag when it's too big for the dies that we have, because I think 2 inches wide is how long they'll fit into kind of the tag topper punch. So I'm just going to make my own, and I'm just going to snip off one corner like so, but I'm going to keep that scrap. I am flipping it over. That's my trick to you, to make sure that you end up getting even sides, because I know in the past, before I figured that trick out, I would just cut and I'd keep cutting, and then they'd all be uneven on either side. But when you use the same one, you pretty much have the same width. Now you might not like the top. I don't know if you can see there. Mine's a little too long and narrow, so I'm going to trim that down just a bit so I can have something like that. And there's kind of my tag. But now that I've done that with this, remember I said I'm going to use my piece of designer series paper as well. Let me get this out of the way. And we're going to use this one. It's got the So Succulent piece with the fun kind of greenery foliage on the back. And I'm just going to trim this down to 3 inches, because remember that was how wide I made that tag. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some adhesive kind of on the back of this tag, because I'm going to put the designer series paper just on one side of it. It doesn't have to fully be covered, but enough. So I'm going to just cover that whole tag with this designer series piece of paper like this. So of course I've already trimmed it, so now I just need to go back and trim off the designer series paper that's hanging over the edge. Now don't trim it all, because you can reuse kind of this piece in your project. Oops, and I'm cutting a little too much on that side, but that's okay. You can't really tell, but this way one side of this is going to have that pattern paper. Isn't that cute? And then the other side looks like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm taking this other piece of designer series paper, and I'm just going to trim this to, I think, 2.5 inches. 2.5? Yeah, 2.5 inches. And that leaves me this. And now I want to adhere this to the bottom of my card here, but the trick here is I do want to be able to tuck a gift card inside. So I want to make sure that I don't put adhesive too close to the edge. So for this, I'm going to use my tear and tape because it's narrow enough. This is only about 1/4 inch thick, that is not going to take over. You know, the card should still be able to slide through as long as when I'm adhering this, it's as close to the edge as possible. I don't want it to kind of hang over any more than that. And I think I cut this one a little too long, but that's okay. I'm just going to tear that. I'm going to add it over to this side because I didn't quite get to the top. And then I'm going to add a little bit across the bottom as well, just to make sure that that card doesn't slide through, right? And so now, when we look at this, see, there should still be lots of room for a card to go in. So now I'm going to just peel off those edges. Of course, I have no nails, so this is a little difficult. I should have my little picker tool. That helps. Eventually I'll get it. Yeah, need some Christmas tunes here. Okay, so now that you have that done, I am just going to line that up to the very bottom here, just to make sure that it's all lined up like this. And now what I would like to show you is the cut and emboss machine. So this is such a cute little mini die cut machine. Super cute. And I'm just opening it up here. I'm going to set that aside because what I want to do is add a little bit of accent. I don't know if you can see these, but they're layered plates and they all have numbers to kind of help you decide which layer goes first. And so I am going to put layer number 1 down first, and because I'm not using embossing folders, I don't need either of these gray ones, so I just need a cutting plate. I need a piece of paper, and that's just some cherry cobbler scrap that I have, and I'm using this border die from the Peonies die set. Prize Peonies, I think it's called. So I'm just going to put that on my scrap. I'm layering it again with my number 2 plate because there's 2 of them that come in this pack, and that's just going to be my cutting sandwich that I'm now putting through here. And this does go both ways. Don't know if you can, I'm cranking it through. I'm pulling it out and see, just like this. It gave some nice little, I don't know if you can see that, curly scallops. Love, love, love that die. Okay, so that is just going to give us some extra decor to put on here. Now, because I used a piece of scrap, I didn't actually have the piece measured to perfection, so I'm just going to stick this back in my trimmer, and I'm just going to line this up to my 1/2 inch line here. The scallops are just going to kind of sit on that, and then I'm going to close, come down, and that's just going to give me a straight line now, so that I can layer this, and now this is just going to go over top like so. So I'm going to put a little bit of my Stampin' Seal on there. Don't want to do too much because I'm only putting this on half of it like so. And then once I have it set up, I'm just going to use my paper snips, which are hiding at the moment, so we'll use my big snips. Turn that over, just make sure you cut straight. There, and so you're going to save that for another cute project. So there's the start, and then I'm going to use some scrap Whisper White paper, and we are going to find that stamp set again, the Tidings and Trimming, and they've got a little stamp, and it's a to and from stamp, which is super cute. And we're going to use, I think we're going to use the dark ink. So it is the Evening Evergreen, which is part of the collection that we're using today. And I'm just going to stamp, stamp, stamp. I'll stamp on this side. As you can see, I've already tried to stamp a little bit. And then I'm going to use a circle punch. I'm sure many of you guys have some circle punches, and if not, there are circle dies in all of these shapes that you can cut out with your cut and emboss machine. But I'm just going to punch that out with my punch, and that's the 1 1/4 inch punch. And I'm going to follow up by punching some scraps in the 1 3/8 inch. And you just got to bear with me here because my scraps are over here. I realized I didn't pre-punch. Okay, so now that I have that, I am just going to again use my seal on the back to like add some of that adhesive and just adhere that like so. There we go. And I'm going to adhere some dimensionals, but the key here is I don't want any dimensionals at the top. I just want it kind of at the bottom because remember, this is now going to tuck a card in. And so I want to make sure that it doesn't actually stick to the card so the receiver of this can actually lift it up, okay? But there's one more thing I want to add just because we like accents. And I've got some silver foil paper here. And then there's this lovely new punch, some greenery punch. It's part of the symmetry collection. I'm just going to punch some foil pieces and it gives me 2 right off the bat. And all I'm going to do is take my glue dots and glue them to the back of that. So for the glue dots, I just stick them on like so, and then I'll just peel them off one at a time. And again, I'm just going to tuck them in behind here, wherever you think it's going to look cute, like so. And then I'm just going to put that there, like so. Is that not cute? I think it's super cute. And then we've got some Evening Evergreen, this woven ribbon. I love this dark color. This is going to be probably a Christmas must-have or a holiday must-have ribbon just because it's so fun. It's thick. It'll be great for all kinds of crafting projects. I am just going to staple that to the top. So I'm pulling out my crafty stapler, which is right here, and I'm just going to kind of do like an X. So I'm stapling one direction, staple the other. And that's just because you're going to see it at the front, so you kind of want it to look a little fun instead of just one staple. So give that a try. And then if you wanted to add some words or something in behind there, depending on what you're giving the gift for, there is a super cute set of words in here. It says, wishing you a joyful Christmas and a happy new year. So I'm actually going to stamp with that using the soft succulent. Here it is there, and I'm just going to tap, 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 and then I'm just going to stamp that kind of right in the center. I probably should have stamped it before I put this on in case I'd hit it, but I had lots of room there, so I was good. And then that way it's a hidden message for when someone pulls out that gift card. Isn't that super cute? And then it's kind of decorated at the back, and you can do whatever. You could add more on the back. I wanted to share this with you because it was a fun memory, actually, that I had with my mom, who one year hung all kinds of gift cards on the Christmas tree for us to find. And it wasn't just a matter of finding them, because even though we found them, didn't actually mean that we got to keep them, because we played a fun game afterwards with them. So anyways, I thought that this would be a fun project. Oh, you know what I did forget? Because I want to hang this on the Christmas tree. I really should have tied this into a bow, or I think what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of cord. In fact, let's do that right now before I forget, because I'm going to have to make all of these up. I'm going to have to hang some decorations. But the fact that I have this designed, I'm already a step ahead. This is going to be a fabulous project for my family, but it's already started. I've even got some pieces pre-cut, so I think that this is going to be fantastic. Now, what I'm going to do is just grab a hole punch, actually. In fact, my crocodile. Who still has a crocodile? Ooh, it looks like my son was using this because apparently there's a piece missing. This is interesting. Anyways, I am going to just punch a hole through the back, kind of behind where these pieces are, kind of down low. And this just goes through all kinds of layers. So if you wanted to do this project with chipboard so that maybe they do last longer to use year after year, you may want to consider that. But at least I've got that hole through there now. And now I can add the silver string. And I'll just tie like a crafter's knot to it. There we go. See, good thing I was sitting here yakking to you so you could see the final project, because I do need to hang this on the Christmas tree somehow. just like that. So I hope you like that little project using that suite. I think that paper is super cute. There's going to be a lot of other fun projects we can do with it. But this was one I just wanted to share as a fun decoration. Thanks. Let me know what you think.